Backing up virtual machines means that we need to add a host computer, either in Hyper-V or VMware, in order to connect to those virtual machines to run the backup. So first we have to add the server. I'm going to click on Add Server, and I have the option of either VMware or Microsoft Hyper-V, and that's what I have. So now I'm going to put in the IP address or the name of the host server. And that happens to be in a completely different Active Directory domain. So I'm just going to put in the IP address. Otherwise, I have to add a DNS entry. Now I have the option for a System Center Virtual Machine Manager, Hyper-V cluster, or just a Hyper-V standalone. So that's what I'm going to choose as a standalone server. Click Next. Now I need to add in the credentials. I'll click on Manage Accounts and click Add. Now I'm going to put in the username and password and click OK. And click OK to select it and click Next. Now we can see there's going to be some components added into my Hyper-V host server. And I can choose where it says this Hyper-V server will act as the backup proxy for jobs. And there's a 4-task limit. That might be a lot. I'm just going to go ahead and drop it down to 2 so we're not doing too many at once. And click Apply. And now that's starting to push out. By running a backup of my virtual machine on a Hyper-V host, I'm going to be doing what's called an image level backup. So that way I can restore an entire Hyper-V or VMware image to the host much more quickly than I could if I backed it up as a physical server. All the changes have been made, so I'll click Next and Finish. Now I'm going to create a job. So I'll click on Create Job, and I'll go to Backup Job and choose Virtual Machine. And it will find the virtual machines on the Hyper-V host that I just added. So I'll click on Add, and there's all the different virtual machines on this host. I'm going to choose the Windows 11 client and click Next. I could also choose a server if I'd like. I'm just choosing something a little bit different this time. I'm going to start by choosing the backup proxy. So by default, it has the off-host backup, which puts less of a strain on the host itself. If I want to do an on-host backup, I can do that. And this is useful if you have multiple different hosts. I only have the one host. So in this particular case, it doesn't really matter which one is chosen. So I don't have a second host to offload this to. So I'll choose the on-host backup because that way it's just going to choose the host that it's currently on. And now I have the option for the backup repository. So I have two different backup repositories. I'm going to choose the local backup in this case. Then I can choose my retention policy before it will allow backup jobs to overwrite. And by default, you can see it's set to 7 days, but you can choose other options. And as shown in a previous video, I can also choose to keep certain full backups longer for archival or create a copy backup. And I'll click Next. I'm going to leave the application aware and guest file system indexing as it is. I don't need it for this particular type of backup. And now I can choose when I want to back it up. So I can choose to run it automatically every day at a specific time, or I can choose monthly or periodically, etc. I also have the option to retry any failed jobs that may have run so it can try to run again. It's possible a Windows update was running and it caused the server to restart, and that may have been why it failed. And the second time it goes through, then it will probably back up successfully. I'm going to back this up at 7 o'clock every day. I've got my other backup running at 6 o'clock. I don't want them to run into each other. It would actually be okay because it's just two servers, but that way I lighten the load a little bit on my backup server, and I'll click Finish. And now that backup is going to run an hour after the first one. Image level backups can be restored much more quickly than physical backups and is a good option for both Hyper-V and VMware.